Snow was still settling on the empty cafe windowsill when Anna realized her blind date had already left, walking out the door the moment he saw her, pretending he'd received an emergency call. His untouched coffee cup sat steaming on the table like a cruel reminder that she wasn't worth a full minute of honesty. Her chest tightened as laughter from cheerful holiday shoppers drifted in from the street, a painful contrast to the silent storm brewing inside her. She wrapped her coat tightly around herself, blinking hard to keep the tears from falling. Christmas was usually hard for her, but this felt like the universe kicking her when she was already on her knees. If you believe everyone deserves kindness, love, and a second chance, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It truly helps the channel and lets us keep telling stories that matter. Anna walked through the decorated streets, her footsteps crunching through the soft snow as she tried to pretend it didn't hurt. But nothing felt merry that day. She had agreed to the blind date only because her best friend insisted she deserved happiness. Instead, she ended up feeling invisible again, like the world had forgotten she existed. She passed couples holding hands and families taking photos by a glowing Christmas tree, each scene carving deeper into her loneliness. When she finally sank onto a bench near the park, she let herself breathe in the cold winter air, trying to quiet the ache in her chest. Yet life has a strange way of surprising people when they least expect it. As she watched children throw snowballs and chase each other, she noticed a little girl standing alone by the swings. She was bundled in a purple coat far too large for her, her boots scruffy, and her small hands trembling in the cold. Something in her posture, fragile, unsure, pulled at Anna's heart. She scanned the area for any adult who might be watching her, but there was no one, just a lonely child staring at the families with a longing. That looked too familiar. Anna hesitated before approaching, unsure if she should. But the girl's eyes met hers, wide and glistening, and that was all it took. She sat on the swing next to her, careful not to frighten her. The girl glanced up shyly, as if deciding whether to trust this stranger balancing between her own brokenness and gentle warmth. Anna sensed something unspoken in the air, a quiet sadness that mirrored her own. She didn't need to say much. Her presence alone seemed to comfort the little girl, who slowly inched closer until her small hand nervously brushed against Anna's coat sleeve. Moments passed before the child spoke in a small voice, telling her that her name was Lily. She explained that she was waiting for her father, who had gone to buy something just a few minutes ago. But those minutes had stretched far too long. Anna felt unease tighten her stomach. She knew what it felt like to be left behind. She knew the fear of counting seconds, hoping someone would return. She kept Lily company, gently diverting her worries by pointing out the snowflakes catching the golden holiday lights. Lily giggled softly, her cheeks rosy from the cold, and for a brief moment, Anna forgot her own pain. But when time continued slipping by without anyone coming for the little girl, Anna took her by the hand and guided her to the nearest shop to ask if anyone knew her father. The store owners shook their heads sympathetically. Panic began curling in her chest as she wondered if something terrible had happened, or if the man had simply walked away on purpose. But she pushed the thought aside. She needed to stay calm for Lily. Then, just as she prepared to call the police, a man hurried toward them, breathless and frantic, snow dusting his hair like frost. Relief washed over the little girl as she clung to him. The man, Daniel, apologized repeatedly, explaining that he had been searching everywhere after losing sight of Lily in the crowd. His voice cracked with guilt, revealing a heart weighed down by its own scars. Anna watched him fold his daughter into his arms, and for a moment she felt like an outsider, looking into a life she wished she had. Daniel finally looked at Anna with grateful eyes, thanking her for keeping his daughter safe. He introduced himself properly, admitting it had been a rough year since Lily's mother passed away. The loneliness, the grief, the everyday struggle, it was all there in his weary expression. Anna felt something shift inside her, something tender and unexpected. She saw not just a man, but someone who understood heartbreak in a way few people did. As they talked, Lily stayed close to Anna, her small gloved hand wrapped tightly around Anna's fingers. The child's attachment was instant and pure, as if she sensed the kindness in her. Snow continued falling around them, soft and magical, muffling the world in silence except for Lily's soft breathing. Then came the moment that changed everything. As Daniel thanked Anna one last time and prepared to take Lily home, the little girl tugged at Anna's coat and looked up with trembling hope in her eyes. Her voice was barely a whisper, but it carried enough weight to reshape the entire evening. She asked Anna if she could be her new mom. The words hit Anna like a warm gust in the cold winter air, shocking, tender, and heartbreaking all at once. Daniel's eyes widened, his expression torn between embarrassment and sorrow. He knelt beside his daughter, trying to explain that this wasn't something one could ask so suddenly. But Lily clung to Anna with a vulnerability that made Anna's heart ache in the most beautiful way. Anna knelt down too, brushing her fingers tenderly across Lily's cheek. She told her gently that she didn't have to choose a new mom that night, but she could choose new friends, new family moments, new memories. Lily seemed to accept this, resting her head on Anna's shoulder with a trust that melted away the remnants of Anna's earlier rejection. Daniel watched quietly, something softening in his gaze. When Daniel invited Anna to join them for hot chocolate at a small Christmas stall nearby, she said yes, both for Lily and for the unexpected spark warming her heart. They spent hours talking, laughing softly, sharing stories they hadn't planned to share with a stranger. What began as a painful, lonely Christmas had transformed into something gentle and hopeful, something that felt like the beginning of healing for all three of them. By the time they parted ways, Anna realized she no longer felt invisible. She felt seen, valued, and strangely connected to two people who had entered her life by pure chance. And as she walked home, she wondered if sometimes rejection wasn't the end of a story, but the beginning of a better one written by fate with a softer hand. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe. Your support keeps these emotional stories alive and helps more people hear them. Before we end, let us know in the comments, do you believe destiny brings people together at the perfect moment?